Coming up, Super Tuesday is just one day away. We'll preview national issues that you will be voting on. And Norman voters have one more item on their ballot, the potential deal with OG&E that you could be deciding. Plus, new developments in Next Benedict's death, details on the latest federal investigation into Owasso Public Schools. This is OU Nightly.
Thanks for watching OU Nightly. I'm Victoria Anderson.
And I'm Spencer Plato. We begin tonight on the eve of the biggest day of the primary season, Super Tuesday. Oklahoma and more than a dozen other states are set to vote tomorrow. CNN's Julia Benbrook has more on the presidential primaries.
On the eve of Super Tuesday, the Supreme Court ruled that former President Donald Trump should remain on the ballot in Colorado. The decision follows months of debate over whether the Republican frontrunner violated the insurrectionist clause included in the 14th Amendment.
It was a very important decision. We're very well crafted, and I think it will go a long way toward bringing our country together, which our country needs.
The court was unanimous on the idea that Trump could not be unilaterally removed from the state's ballot, a massive win for the former president. The decision comes as his last major primary opponent, Nikki Haley, who vowed to stay in the race at least through Super Tuesday, faces a make-or-break moment.
We do have a country to save. So this is where you get to work. We need to make sure we go out in force on Tuesday.
Haley secured her first primary win this week in Washington, D.C., but some GOP strategists say Tuesday's race could be the final contest in her 2024 run.
There's just no path forward for Nikki Haley. She's a former governor. She had foreign policy chops. She had all of the resume and the presentation that should have done well, but she didn't.
More than 1/3 of the total delegates in both the Democratic and Republican presidential primaries are up for grabs on Tuesday. Reporting in Los Angeles, I'm Julia Benbrook.
Voting season is upon us as Norman residents will race to the polls tomorrow. But during this special election, they'll decide on more than just presidential candidates. OU Nightly's Kaylee Carnine has more on a proposed bill voters already shot down in 2023.
Tomorrow, as Norman residents take to the polls for Super Tuesday, they'll be voting on more than presidential candidates. They'll also be voting on a 25-year franchise agreement with Oklahoma Gas and Electric.
This bill would allow OG&E to contractually continue to provide Norman with utilities. OG&E says a yes vote would also allow linemen access to city easements and allow them to make repairs quickly and safely.
The agreement that Norman voters will consider tomorrow is just about maintaining access to that equipment so that our linemen are able to go out and restore power when an outage occurs.
Residents have voiced their opinions on social media, saying this gives the city no negotiating power and the terms are too long. But OG&E believes 25 years is a necessity.
The reason for 25 years is the poles and the assets that we put in place to provide electric service have a really long lifespan. We're talking pieces of equipment that are expected to last 30, 40, 50, 60 years. So with this agreement in place, we want to make sure that we have certainty and so that we're able to do long-term planning for the infrastructure and for the equipment that serves a community like Norman.
And when asked, Cooper told me that this agreement will have no impact on customer bills. Reporting Kaylee Carnine, OU Nightly.
To find out more information on Super Tuesday for voters in Cleveland County, you can go to clevelandcountyelectionboard.com to find polling places near you. And just a reminder, the polls will be open from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. tomorrow. Well, hopefully you haven't been dealing with allergies, but if you are, they might be sticking around just a little bit longer.
Let's head over to OU Nightly meteorologist C.D. Finley to see how long you might want to keep those tissues handy.
Hey, thanks, ladies. Allergies are definitely a little bit of a problem right now, especially tree allergies up in that high category. Weed and grass allergies a little bit lower than that in the low category, and then same thing for mold. But Carlin McCreary is outside live right now. People have been going outside because it has been quite nice. So, Carlin, how's it looking like out there right now?
CD, it is just beautiful. I'm at the Norman famous restaurant, The Mott, right now. There's a lot of people out enjoying some drinks and some food, and a lot of people have been outside over this weekend and into today because we've had way above average temperatures for this time of year. We had temperatures in the 80s this weekend, so definitely something that we all enjoyed into today when we had temperatures in the 80 once again. So be sure to get out and enjoy it before we have a cool down. CD.
Thanks, Carlin. That's right. Those temperatures are definitely a little bit warmer than they have been, than they usually are. But in the headlines right now, we'll take another look at the allergies. We do have some rain chances coming up this week, along with a weekend cold front that will drop the temperatures quite a little bit. So, ladies, back to you.
Thank you, CD. OU students have a chance to meet a former U.S. House Speaker this spring. Paul Ryan is set to speak at the Spring 2024 Presidential Speakers Series dinner. Ryan will present the state of American politics. The event starts at 6 p.m. on March 27th in the Union Ballroom.
New tonight, OU Nightly is learning more about the search for a new dean of Gaylord College. In an email sent to faculty and staff, Dean Search Committee Chair Corey Phillips announced 5 finalists will visit Gaylord this month. The candidates include a current OU professor, Mike Betcher. Other candidates are David Perlmutter, Emily Metzgar, Andrea Miller, and Avery Holton. Betcher meets with Gaylord faculty, students, and university officials tomorrow and Wednesday. The first ever over-the-counter birth control pill is now approved in the U.S. Darby McCormick has that and the rest of today's national and international headlines from the News Center.
It's called Opill, and its company says that it can be up to 98% effective at preventing pregnancy if taken as directed. You'll have to pay $20 for a 1-month supply and $50 for 3 months. The manufacturer says they have started shipping the pills, which should hit stores later this month. Pharmacies who said they would be carrying the pill, CVS and Walgreens. A new report from the UN finds, quote, reasonable grounds to believe Hamas committed sexual violence and inhumane treatment of women during the surprise attack in Israel on October 7th. The UN Special Representative on Sexual Violence says that such violence may still be ongoing for hostages now. Tomorrow, the Biden administration and Israeli War Cabinet will meet to discuss providing more aid to Gaza. In New York, the former chief financial officer of the Trump Organization, Alex Weisselberg, pleaded guilty to perjury charges today. This is related to his testimony during Donald Trump's New York civil fraud case in 2020. Weisselberg will be sentenced to 5 months in jail. And 3 passengers who were on the Alaska Airlines plane that lost its door mid-flight is now suing the company and Boeing for $1 billion. Victoria Spencer.
Thanks, Darby. Coming up on OU Nightly, name brand companies are falling short at the grocery store.
How inflation is impacting some shoppers' decisions.
And one Oklahoma neighborhood is a hot spot for first-time home buyers.
We have the details next on OU Nightly.
My baby's back from the West Coast.
Here are those pictures that you asked for your school project? First day of school, cute as a button.
So long ago.
Oh, here's Grandma Florence after that flood wiped out the whole neighborhood.
Sometimes I just cannot believe all the storms we've gone through here.
I can only hope that we'll be able to leave this house to you one day, baby. You're our legacy.
Planning for these disasters will make sure we're safe, and is the best way to protect that legacy.
Ah, those beans smell heavenly.
Give Mom a little credit.
You know what? We should make an emergency communication plan. That way we're ready this year.
Oh,
great idea.
At my dorm, we have emergency kits for earthquakes and wildfires, but I'm sure there's something more local I can send you with the link.
Okay.
Smart.
I'm coming to share with you guys.
Protect your legacy. Plan for natural disasters today. Visit ready.gov/plan.
Did you know that trash, like plastic bottles and fast food wrappers, can carry germs and bacteria? When these items are tossed in the street, they eventually find their way to a river or lake and have a negative impact on aquatic life. Keep our waters clean by putting your trash in the bin. For more information, visit bit.ly/Norman Stormwater.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
One of the best markets to buy a home is right here in Oklahoma. OU Nightly's Olivia Hayes has where first-time homeowners should look in today's Money Matters.
Top 10 nationally for being one of the best markets for first-time buyers. Home buyers 25 to 34 have the hardest time finding their first house. According to Realtor.com, a home in Moore costs about $230,000. It ranks number 8 as the best place to buy for diversity, inventory, entertainment, and similarly aged residents. Researchers say more and more people are buying generic at the grocery store these days. Generic brands saw a 4.7% increase in purchases during 2023. These products are significantly less expensive than name brands and are becoming more popular as inflation continues to rise. This led to $10 billion in additional sales for the store behind the label. The countdown is on to submit your tax return by April 15th. Some people have theirs completed and they're starting to get their tax returns. Credit Karma money experts say save the cash and do not take a nice trip. Instead, bulk up your savings, pay down the debt, and contribute to a retirement account. Accountants add you should expect your tax return within 4 weeks if you mail it in and 20 days if you file electronically. And unexpectedly, researchers say millennials could become the richest generation ever by the year 2044. Millennials are expected to inherit roughly $90 trillion worth of assets. Victoria, Spencer.
Thanks, Olivia. There's new information tonight about the death of Nex Benedict, a non-binary student at Owasso High School who died the day after a fight in the school.
Tonight we know a federal investigation into the death is underway. OU Nightly's Stone Weber breaks it down for us.
What do we want? Justice! When do we want it? Now!
From the march that started on the South Oval to vigils across the state.
That family should be tucking them into bed but instead they have to face every single day without their beloved child because of the hate and rhetoric of the state.
Oklahomans are voicing their concerns with the Nex Benedict situation, and so far, evidence has been limited to scenes like this.
Benedict at the hospital. She's a juvenile and she has been attacked at school.
That was Sue Benedict, Nex Benedict's mom, calling Owasso Police Department requesting an officer come to Bailey Medical Center emergency room. School surveillance cameras show student Nex Benedict entering the bathroom where they told police a fight broke out. Benedict died a day later, and the student's death is drawing international concern by civil rights organizations. The Human Rights Campaign sent a letter to U.S. Secretary of Education Miguel Cardona to ask his department to promptly begin an investigation on the circumstances leading to the death of Nex Benedict. In response to Robinson, the Department of Education's Office for Civil Rights is opening an investigation to determine if the school district appropriately responded to the alleged harassment. The Human Rights Campaign is also seeking a broader federal investigation into the Oklahoma State Department of Education and the current state superintendent of public instruction, Ryan Walters. The HRC says it wants to prevent similar tragedies from taking place and to hold those accountable for Nex's death. That's something organizers here at OU say they want to see happen.
Remember Nex's name. That's what's most important. Remember who they are, where they came from, what they liked. That's what's most important.
Stone Weber, OU Nightly.
Preliminary autopsy results show that Nex did not die from injuries that could have happened during the fight. A formal cause of death won't be released for several weeks. We will bring that information to you as soon as it's released. The Sooners are taking one last swing at Oklahoma State before moving to the SEC.
Find out more about how you can help Sooners win the Bedlam Blood Drive when we return.
And I've got allergies, cold fronts, and rain chances galore coming up in your next Maine weather forecast.
I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you out, because only you can prevent wildfires.
Hey, Assistant Smokey Bear. Call me Papa Bear, because I'm grilling up dinner. Do you get it?
Yes, good job.
So, what should I do with all these coals?
Don't just toss them out. Put them in a metal container because those embers can start a wildfire.
I understand. The stakes are high.
Ha, 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 ha.
See, Smokey thinks I'm funny.
There's so many rewards in life. You coming into our home was one of the greatest rewards we could have ever had.
You know, it took 20 years, and I got my third child, who was 17 at the time.
It's so cool to watch the adult that you've become, and you really have done as much for us as you think we've done for you.
Water is our most precious resource, and something that should be conserved and used wisely. Here is a water conservation tip you can try. In the bathroom, turn off the water while you brush your teeth. You'll save about 4 gallons per minute. That comes out to about 200 gallons a week for a family of 4. Water is life. This message was brought to you by the City of Norman.
Is it time yet?
It's time.
Mom's starting time for dinner.
Oh, terrific.
Donating pet food is one of the many ways you can help families in your community. Pets and people belong together. Learn more at petsandpeopletogether.org.
Hey everybody, welcome back to OU Nightly. Allergies are definitely still a bit of an issue as we head into the month of March, especially those tree allergies. All that pollen is still hanging up in the air. As far as grass, weeds, and mold go, not too much of a concern, but still something to be thinking about. Now, going into today, the current temperatures, it's a very beautiful day outside, very clear sky. You can even see Oklahoma City all the way out there, hitting 79 degrees right now in the city of Norman. Not very humid, and it looks pretty nice outside. Then it also is exactly how it feels outside right now as well. So very nice day overall, but going into the next week or so, it's going to change it a little bit. We'll have a 60% chance of rain on Thursday, following with a 40% chance of rain on Friday. So let's go ahead and time that setup out. So this is the SPC severe weather outlook going into today. We have a little bit of a marginal risk for severe weather in far southeastern Oklahoma, and then going into day 2, kind of a similar situation. Far southeastern Oklahoma is looking like it's going to get a little bit of rain as well tomorrow, but not much for us in the way of rain going into the next day or so. But going into Thursday, that's when things start to change a little bit. Again, here you can see all that rain going through on later tonight and on Tuesday evening. But going into Thursday, we'll have a widespread rain event as a low pressure system kind of approaches us from the west. And as it moves through, that rain will continue to go through until Friday morning as it starts to head out to the east. So looking like it's going to be a wet Thursday and Friday. Let's go ahead and kind of look at the setup for this. So you can see this low pressure system coming in from the northwest up here, bringing all that rain through here in central Oklahoma on Thursday. But then look at this, Saturday at 2 a.m. You see all this blue stuff right here? That is cold air. That is a cold front running through here in central Oklahoma that will dip the temperatures this weekend into the mid to upper 50s roughly. So it's looking like it's going to be a cold weekend as well. But going into tonight, we're going to have a low of 48 degrees, so it'll be a very nice cool evening as we head into tonight. But going into tomorrow morning, it's going to be a little bit warmer, 67 degrees for the high tomorrow. So again, very nice day before we head into the rain chances for Thursday and Friday, and then the eventual cold front on Saturday. So you can see that timed out here on our 7-day forecast. Again, Thursday, 60% chance of rain there, Friday, 40%. And then once that cold front hits, it'll get down into the mid to lower 50s. So again, getting cooler this weekend. Now, it has been quite nice out there lately. And ladies, how have y'all been enjoying the weather out there lately? It's been quite nice.
Yeah, me and my roommates just sat outside all this weekend soaking in that sun.
Yeah, I love the weather. I've spent majority of my weekend outside. I even had time to start a vegetable garden, so hopefully the cucumbers Go strong.
Yeah, that's cool. That's really awesome.
Well,
Very nice.
thank you, Sadie.
Yes, of course.
While the athletic bedlam battles come to a close, the University of Oklahoma hosts another competition against the Pokes. Partnered with the Oklahoma Blood Institute, a week-long blood drive on campus aims to save lives. This semester's goal is to reach 500 donors and to score the final bragging rights versus OSU. The incentives go beyond the difference you can make.
We really try and spread the word with education on like your one donation can save 3 lives. But if that doesn't get you, we've got food, we've got prizes, we've got hot cookies. Anything we can get you to come, we'll do it.
To donate and help Oklahoma win, you can simply walk in the OU Armory or make an appointment on the OBI website. And see which Sooner team finished conference play on the top Saturday.
And did OU baseball come home from Las Vegas with the jackpot? Emma McAndrews has more in sports. With the opening of a new stadium comes new dreams of strikeouts and grand slams. Can Sooner softball keep their NCAA win streak going? Hear from Patty Gasso next.
How do you know when you've made the right decision? It's the feeling you get in your gut. The one that tells you what's right or wrong. It's the one that says, sure, I can have a drink. Or the feeling that says, okay, I've been drinking. Now what? It's the voice inside you that says, I'm buzzed. Better leave the car when it's time to go. Plan ahead. Catch a sober ride. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
Water is our most precious resource and something that should be conserved and used wisely. Here are some water conservation tips you can try. In the kitchen, collect the excess water you use to rinse produce and use it to water houseplants. Also, soak your pots and pans instead of letting the water run while you scrape them. Water is life. This message was brought to you by the City of Norman.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Hello, I'm Emma McAndrews, and it's time for sports. Sooner softball opened the gates to Loves Field on Friday, hoping to keep their NCAA record win streak alive. OU would sweep Friday and Saturday's games, but sunny clouds would leave Loves Field on Sunday. 1,464 days is how long the Sooners have gone undefeated, but Louisiana would snap the 71-game win streak, winning 7-5 in extra innings, giving the Sooners their first loss in over 4 years.
We knew a game like this would be coming at some time. I don't know that we were ready to have it happen here, but this was a game we didn't deserve to win, and we know how to come back. I know there's too much pride on this team for us to mope around over it. We're going to come back and be stronger. We've shown that, and we're made like that.
Did Sooner baseball have it in the cards in Las Vegas this weekend to win? Well, OU started the weekend dropping Game 1 to Pittsburgh 19-9, then allowed Ohio State this walk for the go-ahead run to take Sunday's game 4-3. With regular season play coming to an end, OU men's basketball hosted their second-to-last home game on Saturday. OU welcomed #1 Houston for a thriller at the Lloyd Noble Center. They tied the game 85-all with 11 seconds left, but the Sooners allowed Houston's Jamal Shed to grab this loose ball and put up the game winner. Houston took the game 87-85.
We're playing the best of the best. I mean, Tell me anybody's in a 5-game stretch like we just played. 4 top 12 teams and your rival on the road in an unbelievable atmosphere. For us, we're coming out of that stretch. We know we got to turn right around and play Cincinnati. I want to play again right now. I mean, the guys do too. They're crushed. As much as they're crushed, that's a good sign. It wasn't this, we came close. These guys believed they were going to win. And when we were in the huddles down double figures, they believed we were going to win. And that's a credit to their resiliency.
The Big 12 regular season champions OU women's basketball team fell to Kansas Saturday 83-74. However, the Sooners still hold the #1 seed for the Big 12 tournament and will play either TCU or OSU in the quarterfinals on March 9th. OU women's gymnastics took down #7 Michigan on Friday. Senior Catherine Lavasser took home the all-around with a career-high 39.775. Reagan Smith earned her 8th and 9th career perfect 10 on the beam this weekend, now holding the solo program record. And on Sunday, OU traveled to Denton and dominated Clemson, Penn, and Texas women's. Victoria, Spencer?
Thanks, Emma. And one Oklahoma program is celebrating 20 years of helping both inmates and shelter dogs.
Hear how these inmates helped house thousands of dogs when we return.
If you're feeling sad.
Thanks for hearing me out, bro.
Whenever you need to talk, I'm here, okay?
Gracias. Thank you.
What's wrong, mijo? Donating to a pet's medical care can keep families together. Pets and people belong together. Learn more at petsandpeopletogether.org.
Hi, I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you prevent wildfires.
Dude, I've got this. I've been camping since I was 5 years old.
But I am a camping influencer.
You know what? I'll bet you $5. Okay. Assistant Smokey, what is the best way to put out a campfire?
To put out a campfire, drown with water, stir, drown again. Then make sure the fire is out cold by feeling with the back of your hand.
Wait, really?
I'll take the $5.
With an update on a crash that left Highway 9 shut down for hours Friday evening. Norman police say 5 cars were involved in the crash. Investigators say a 62-year-old woman was driving westbound, crossed over the center line, and collided head-on with another car. The woman died in the hospital. Another is in critical condition, while 5 others are being treated for non-life-threatening injuries. The cause of the crash is under investigation. Victoria, Spencer.
Thank you, Bren. One Oklahoma program is celebrating 20 years of furry friendship by connecting inmates and shelter dogs. The Pen Pals dog program provides low-risk inmates with training responsibilities as well as companionship. The Oklahoma Department of Corrections says since the program's creation, more than 1,000 dogs have been trained and later placed in their forever home.
And it has been feeling like summertime here in Norman, but a cool down is on the way.
Let's check in one last time with OU Nightly meteorologist C.D. Finley to see when we can expect cooler temperatures. C.D.
Hey, thanks, lady. Yeah, we do have some rain chances coming up on Thursday and Friday, so make sure you have that umbrella ready, and then we do have that cool down coming in on Saturday. Victoria, Spencer.
Thank you for watching OU Nightly. I'm Victoria Anderson.
And I'm Spencer Plato. Be sure to watch OU Nightly live weekdays at 4:30. Good night.
You know you don't have to wear your PT gear anymore, right?
It's comfortable.
So how's civilian life treating you?
It's fine.
When I got out, I didn't want